The problem with karma: children suffer, tyrants prosper. The honest are betrayed, the corrupt are celebrated. If karma is real, what exactly is it doing? Millions of people believe that actions somehow come back to us, that good people are rewarded, that bad people are punished, that reality, despite appearances, is secretly fair. But before asking whether karma exists, we should ask a simpler question. What do we mean by karma? Because depending on the answer, karma can be either obvious or highly questionable. If karma means that actions have consequences, then it is difficult to deny. Every action changes something. Every choice leaves a trace. Every cause produces effects. In this sense, karma is as ordinary as gravity. But many people mean something more. They mean moral karma. The belief that reality rewards the good and punishes the bad. This is where the problem begins. Because reality often seems indifferent to our moral expectations. The kind suffer, the cruel flourish, the innocent die, the guilty escape. If karma means moral compensation, the evidence appears mixed at best. Some people respond by abandoning karma entirely. Others turn to philosophy. One philosopher who took this problem seriously was Arthur Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer rejected the idea of a cosmic judge. He rejected heaven. He rejected hell. He rejected the idea of a divine accountant keeping score. Instead, he proposed something called eternal justice. To understand eternal justice, we first need to understand another idea: the will. According to Schopenhauer, beneath all living things lies a single reality: the will, not a god, not a person, but the endless striving that appears as life itself. The desire to survive, to consume, to reproduce, to dominate, to love, to fear, to continue. But if the will is one, why do we experience separate individuals? Why do we experience lions and deer, criminals and victims, you and me? Schopenhauer's answer was what philosophers call the principle of individuation, the process through which one reality appears as many separate beings. The will is one. Its manifestations are many. This is why Schopenhauer could claim that the tormentor and the tormented are ultimately one. Many people find this difficult to accept, and understandably so. The lion does not feel the deer's terror. The deer does not feel the lion's hunger. The victim feels pain. The criminal may feel pleasure. So how can they be one? I do not think Schopenhauer was wrong. I think he was asking a different question. Schopenhauer was concerned with what lies beneath individuality. I am interested in what happens after individuality appears. What does eternal justice look like from inside the world? A common objection to eternal justice goes like this: the criminal does not suffer as much as the victim, and often that is true. A psychopath may feel little guilt. A tyrant may live comfortably. A cruel person may enjoy cruelty. But I believe this objection misunderstands eternal justice. Because eternal justice does not require equal suffering. It requires universal vulnerability. The criminal remains capable of suffering. The tyrant remains capable of loss. The sadist remains capable of frustration. The psychopath remains capable of imprisonment, fear, injury, and death. What all manifestations of the will share is not the same suffering. It is the same capacity for suffering, the same exposure, the same vulnerability. This is why I think eternal justice is best understood, not as the equality of suffering, but as the universality of vulnerability. No manifestation of the will escapes it. Not the king, not the beggar, not the predator, not the prey, not the saint, not the criminal. All remain exposed. We can even see this in our justice systems. When we imprison a murderer, we are not recreating the suffering of the victim. We are not balancing a cosmic scale. We are acting upon the criminal's vulnerability. The criminal can be restrained because he remains vulnerable. He can be punished because he remains vulnerable. He can suffer because he remains vulnerable. Even the most powerful person remains within the reach of vulnerability. But this raises another question. Why do we call certain suffering justice? Why do we see a tyrant suffer and immediately think he deserved it? To explain this, I want to introduce a term of my own: phenomenological justice. Phenomenological justice does not replace eternal justice, it extends it. If eternal justice concerns the unity of the will, then phenomenological justice concerns how individual beings experience and interpret suffering. When a child suffers, we call it tragic. When a tyrant suffers, we call it justice. The suffering itself is objective. The judgment is phenomenological. It exists in experience, in consciousness, in interpretation. This does not make justice fake. The feeling is real. The experience is real. But the experience of justice does not prove that the universe itself is distributing rewards and punishments. The universe exposes. We interpret. Perhaps this is the real problem with karma. Not that actions lack consequences, but that we confuse consequences with compensation. We see suffering and assume reality is speaking. We see misfortune and assume the universe is judging. Perhaps it is doing neither. Perhaps reality guarantees consequences. Perhaps reality guarantees vulnerability. But whether reality guarantees fairness is another question entirely. In the end, karma may depend on what we mean by the word. If karma means actions have consequences, it is difficult to deny. If karma means reality guarantees moral compensation, the evidence is less convincing. And if Schopenhauer was right, perhaps the deepest truth is neither reward nor punishment. Perhaps it is this: every manifestation of the will inherits the same exposure, the same vulnerability, the same capacity to suffer. And perhaps what we call justice begins only when conscious beings try to make sense of that fact.